Coming up next, new information on the devastation caused by Hurricane Helene across the southeast. We talk with one of the victims.
Can't live there anymore. It's an unlivable situation. So, yeah, it's a pretty sad experience. It's tough,
Plus, a new election office opens in our area, but find out why some people are not happy about it.
And the fast-growing sport that just got the official okay from Pennsylvania. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Chris Reynolds.
And I'm Demetra Gerguchis. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, the long recovery continues right now in the southeast after Hurricane Helene. At least 130 people in 6 states have died from the storm, and hundreds more are still missing. President Biden is scheduled to visit the damage in North Carolina tomorrow. Reporter Gianna Brown is in our studio with the latest. Gianna?
The images from the Helene devastation keep coming in, and they're tough to watch. Roads and homes destroyed. Nearly 2 million people still without power. From Florida and Georgia and north into the Carolinas, it's going to be a long road to recovery. The video and pictures are stunning. Widespread devastation across the southeast from Hurricane Helene, days after the storm barreled into the Florida coast and across multiple states. In the Tampa Bay area, drone video shows the scope of the damage along the Gulf Coast. I talked with Luke Henwood, a medical student who lost his Florida home in the hurricane.
I'm in the car doing this interview because I had to stay on my buddy's couch who lives inland because the place at Treasure Island was underwater and it's condemned and can't live there anymore. It's an unlivable situation. So, yeah, it's a pretty sad experience. It's tough. It doesn't happen all the time like this, but it definitely is possible.
He says the severity of the damage is hard to believe.
I've talked to numerous people that have lived here for 40 years, and they say they have never seen something like this, where one, it's just this much extent of damage from the entire coast, and two, how inland it came with the surge.
North Carolina was among the hard hit. Government teams and aid groups are working to send basic supplies by airlift and truck to the devastated town of Asheville and other mountain towns. Hundreds of roads remain closed.
It's like a bad dream over and over. It's like as soon as you get cleaned up for one storm, 6 months later you're getting hit again, or 8 months later you're getting hit again.
Dozens of search teams are working across the region to find stranded people. Asheville's water system was severely damaged, forcing people to carry buckets to a creek to get water to flush toilets. The fire chief says they need more help.
I think my message is we need help. We need it very quickly. We can't wait any longer. Our residents have been without food and water now for 5 days.
Thousands of National Guard troops have been deployed to help with recovery effort. And officials say rebuilding from the loss of homes and property would be long and difficult. President Biden called Helene a history-making storm. He plans to visit areas affected by the storm tomorrow. Election officials across the South are also making emergency steps to make sure displaced residents would be able to vote in the November election. Live in the studio, I'm Gianna Brown. Back to you.
Thanks, Gianna. Halfway around the world today, there's breaking news. A major military escalation in the Middle East. Iran is preparing to launch a ballistic missile attack on Israel at any time, according to a senior U.S. official that warned of severe consequences if that happens. Meantime, the Israeli military says its ground troops crossed into Lebanon overnight, carrying out targeted, limited, and localized operations against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. It says the strikes are aimed at areas near the Israeli border and will be conducted by the Air Force and artillery units. This comes days after Hezbollah's leader was assassinated in a blast.
This week, former President Donald Trump is set to return to the western Pennsylvania scene of his attempted assassination. Trump was shot in July at the Butler Farm Show Fairgrounds. His campaign says he'll return to attend a rally Saturday at the same place, 1 month before Election Day. Both presidential candidates are continuing to focus on Pennsylvania as a key swing state. A man accused of waiting for 12 hours outside Donald Trump's golf course with a rifle has pleaded not guilty to federal charges, including attempted assassination. Ryan Ruth appeared in court in West Palm Beach, Florida yesterday. Secret Service agents spotted him on the course last month, but he took off and police arrested him later.
The two major party candidates for vice president will face off tonight in their one and only debate. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance will meet at 9 p.m. in New York City. The debate will be in a studio with no audience, but their mics will not be muted, although the moderators do have the ability to cut their mics. Left-leaning groups are asking Pennsylvania Supreme Court to prevent counties from rejecting mail-in ballots with incorrect or missing dates. State voting law requires voters to sign and date the outer envelope of their mail ballots and return them in a secrecy envelope. The voting rights groups argue the date requirement violates the state constitution. Republicans say it's needed for election integrity.
A satellite election office plans to open on Penn State's University Park campus to help students and others navigate election year a little easier. But reporter Michaela Robinson says not everyone is happy about the move.
With just 5 weeks to go before Election Day, campaigns and county election officials are busy trying to prepare ballots and finish up voter registrations. Center County's election board just approved the opening of a satellite election office on Penn State's campus. The office would handle registration along with mail-in and absentee ballot application processing. But it's not a polling location. The decision to open the new location did not come without disagreement.
Some members voted to have the election office here in the Hammond building, but others voted against it in a crowded meeting that lasted over 2 hours.
Opponents of the satellite office say college students can easily register online and that opening the office here would be unfair to those living in rural areas. Supporters say the office would be available to any voter no matter where they live in the county. In University Park, I'm Michaela Robinson for the Center County Report.
We called the Center County Elections Office for comment about the story, but they refused to talk with us. We'll bring you live coverage and results on election night, Tuesday, November 5th.
Police say they've found the driver wanted in connection with a hit-and-run in downtown State College. Borough police tell us they've identified the driver of this Jeep, but they're not releasing the name. They say the Jeep hit a pedestrian and fled the scene at the intersection of East Beaver Avenue and Locust Lane.
The U.S. House has passed an anti-hazing bill that would impact students in colleges nationwide. The legislation was driven by the Piazza family's advocacy following the hazing death of their son Tim at Penn State in 2017. Led by Congressman Glenn Thompson, the legislation mandates transparency in reporting hazing incidents and creates a national standard for what defines hazing. The bill now heads to the Senate for approval.
Penn State has released its annual crime and safety report for the calendar year 2023. For University Park, among the new details, dating violence incidents on campus rose from 20 to 25, and stalking increased from 32 to 36 incidents. Drug arrests also rose from 47 to 65, but alcohol arrests dropped from 207 to 163. The State College School Board has approved hiring a consultant for an external review of the district's response to a student's death by suicide. The consultant will also evaluate the district's mental health services. 14-year-old Abby Smith of Port Matilda died by suicide back in May. She was a student at Park Forest Middle School.
Still to come on the Center County Report. After days of rain from the remnants of Helene, when will we see the sun? We check the 7-day forecast.
And a former president celebrates his 100th birthday today. Also coming up, Tussey Mountain Ski Resort looks ahead to a major project in the years to come. We'll have the details. Former President Jimmy Carter turns 100 years old today. The 39th president is the oldest of the 6 living presidents. The Carter Center in Atlanta recently hosted a star-studded concert in the former president's honor. And this week, volunteers from Habitat for Humanity built 30 new homes in Minnesota. The Carters had a long history working with Habitat. He's also well known here in Central PA for his years of fly fishing during his vacations here. Carter remains in hospice care in his Georgia home.
Center County's Tussey Mountain Resort is eyeing a possible major renovation and expansion in the next few years. The resort held its Oktoberfest event over the weekend, featuring live music and along with a selection of Austrian, German, and Bavarian food. The festival also showcased a number of authentic Oktoberfest beers. Originally built in the 1960s, the Tussey Lodge is looking to update its amenities and expand to potentially including a wedding venue, restaurant, and bar area. Although the project is in preliminary stages, the hope is for Tussey to increase year-round use.
You can see lots of people out with their umbrellas at that festival, and it's no different today. Take a look live on our camera over the Arboretum where it's raining right now, so you'll need an umbrella if you step out the door. The roads are a bit wet, and it's just a gray, gloomy day today. 59 degrees is the temperature outside right now at the Arboretum at Penn State. On the radar, we've been tracking the rainfall all morning. Earlier this morning, it was mostly concentrated south of I-80. Now we've been seeing some rain showers begin to creep north of there, but we're seeing on and off rain showers continuing really through most of this morning, and that trend will continue as we head through. But if you think to yourself, we've had a lot of days lately where it's been gray and gloomy, scattered showers, you'd be right. Fortunately, that will come to an end when we have this front pass through. That pattern will be coming to an end, but it's close to a record. The last time that happened, February 2008, we had 10 recorded days in a row of recorded rainfall, and that's the streak we're on. Today is the 10th day of recorded rainfall in a row here in State College. Temperatures right now, we're in the 60s across most of the map, still hanging on to the 50s in State College, and we're actually up past the 70-degree mark in Erie, where things tend to be a bit warmer, but it will not get warmer over the course of the day today. At least here in State College, we'll see temperatures in the low 60s, maybe upper 50s throughout the afternoon. Eventually, we'll see temperatures fall off just a little bit this evening, but you'll see overcast skies and a few scattered showers embedded in there. Now, this evening, low temperatures will get down into the 50s for the vast majority of us. That shower risk continues and the clouds hang around until tomorrow, and that's when our pattern changes just a bit. Tomorrow, some showers around, but that's with that cold front that sweeps through. A high of 63 tomorrow afternoon. Let's time it out here on Future Clouds and Radar. You can see overcast tomorrow in the morning with some shower chances, but then we begin to see that front swing through around lunchtime. Brings with it some more showers in the afternoon hours, but later on in the evening, that's when we begin to see things clearing out a little bit, and that will allow temperatures, especially in northwestern Pennsylvania, to get down even to the 40s in some cases, like Franklin and Bradford. I think we'll stay just a bit warmer in State College, but that gives way to lots of sunshine as we head toward the end of the week. You can see it here on the temperature trend, below average today and tomorrow, but then we break the 70s Thursday into Friday, and we'll be seeing more peaks of sunshine then in the 7-day forecast here. The good news is it looks like we're staying dry after that for a little while, especially in time for the Penn State-UCLA game, hoping for a dry game there, and the forecast looks like it will hold out right now. We'll keep a close eye on it.
Yes, definitely hoping that we have no more rain and some good weather for this football game.
I love Penn State football. Penn State football in the rain, not so much. Now over to you, Hannah, for sports.
Coming up in sports, fans answered Coach James Franklin's call for whiteout energy. We take a look at the Lions' big win, and we'll check out highlights from one of the top high school games over the weekend. Also ahead, it's a fast-growing sport across the nation. Now it's officially sanctioned here in Pennsylvania. We take a closer look next. I'm Hannah Valcourt with sports. Penn State football is up to number 7 in the new AP poll after their Big Ten win over top 20 Illinois over the weekend. Isabella Cahill was there for what's now known as the Whiteout Energy Game.
Saturday night, under the lights, a crowd of 109,000 delivered what their coach demanded, Whiteout Energy. Just days before, James Franklin called for an unofficial whiteout at Beaver Stadium against unbeaten Illinois.
I'm calling for Whiteout Energy. Everybody got me?
And in their Big Ten opener, Penn State walked away with a hard-earned 21-7 win. After Illinois scored in the opening drive, they had only 25 rushing yards for the rest of the game. Nittany Lion running backs Kayshawn Allen and Nick Singleton led the offense, combining for almost 200 yards between them. And the Penn State defense kept the Illini off the board the rest of the game.
Thankful and appreciative for the fans and the environment we get here. It's like nothing in all sports, let alone college football, so we're appreciative of that.
The loud crowd had an impact as the noise rattled Illinois' offense.
During the game, Illinois was forced to make 2 timeouts as well as had 4 false starts and a bad snap. head coach of Illinois, now knows what whiteout energy really means.
At Beaver Stadium, I'm Isabella Cahill for the Center County Report.
Penn State's kickoff against UCLA is at noon on Saturday, and you can listen to the game live on Penn State Com Radio with the broadcast team at Beaver Stadium. Let's turn to high school football. Bellefonte is enjoying a big win over Bald Eagle. That score was 21-12. The Raiders are now 4-2 on the season. Also over the weekend, the State College Little Lions had a dominant 24-7 win over Central Dauphin. After the Whistle reporter Annika Wagner has more on that game.
Eddie Corkery went down last week after slicing his leg on a quarterback sneak early in the game against Chambersburg. After getting stitches in his leg, Corkery was cleared to play. Corkery led State College in a dominant 24-7 game versus Central Dauphin.
Brian got me right. Dr. Wilson said I could play that week, so my coach just let me get some reps on Tuesday. Wednesday I was full go. Thursday I was full go. And he trusted me. I told him I was okay, and that was that.
Both the Rams and the Little Lions brought aggression into the game. Flags were flying all game long for both teams.
We are not looking for any of those penalties, but there's a lot of things that we can do better, and there's a lot of things that are a bit out of our control. So, we're really trying to work on that. That's one of the main things we're trying to work on.
Following a State College touchdown, punches were thrown, resulting in Jake Lukac from State College and Chris Buchanan from Central Dauphin being ejected.
Both teams came out of the gate aggressive. It was a gritty matchup between two highly competitive opponents. Defense played a key factor for State College, with the Little Lions holding Central Dauphin to only 7 points.
The Rams opened the scoring first, with a touchdown early in the first quarter, but the Little Lions locked down on defense, holding the Rams to that one touchdown. State College defense had sacks, interceptions, and fumble recoveries to help in their dominance.
Yeah, honestly, we went at halftime and didn't change a thing. We just changed the focus. The plays that we had and that we had called were working. We just had maybe an assignment mistake here or there, or somebody who just didn't execute on any given play.
You can see highlights from this Friday's top local high school football games on our sports show After the Whistle. That's Friday live at 11:30 p.m. on our YouTube channel, PSU Belisario College Student Media. After huge growth in recent years around the country, Pennsylvania has now officially sanctioned girls flag football as a high school sport. Reporter Jack Kiefer has more on what the decision means for girls teams around the state.
Move over, boys. The girls are hitting the football field. The PIAA has officially sanctioned flag football as an official high school sport starting next year. For Nittany Valley Sports Center's Steve Greacher, that's no surprise. They've embraced the growing sport for a while now.
We've already run flag football for the last several years. It's a program that's grown extensively with a lot of girls participating in the program, and it's an exciting opportunity to offer a girls-specific league.
As a part of the state's approval process, the PIAA required at least 100 participating schools from across the state. They reached that threshold in the spring with 65 teams in eastern PA and 36 on the western side. Flag football has gained popularity recently and will appear in the Olympics in 4 years. The NFL has jumped on board too, with the Steelers and Eagles supporting youth teams. It also comes at a time as other girls' sports grow in Pennsylvania, including girls' high school wrestling.
To offer as many opportunities to the community as we can for children to be active, people of all ages to be active and participate in this environment, learning fair play and respect for sports.
Greacher says anything that can help keep kids and adults active is a positive. National numbers show almost 43,000 girls were playing flag football in school last year. In State College, I'm Jack Kiefer for the Center County Report.
According to USA Football, there are now more than 230,000 girls ages 6 to 17 playing flag football nationwide. That's an increase of 44% from 10 years ago. It's great to see that growth of the sport. That's all I have. Now back to you guys.
Yeah, it's amazing to see women finally getting the recognition they deserve in sports.
It's a step in the right direction. Hopefully that trend continues.
Thanks, Hannah. Coming up next, homecoming weekend at Penn State. We'll take you to a popular event in downtown State College that brought thousands of alumni back to campus.
It's been a Penn State tradition since 1920, homecoming, when students, alumni, and residents in State College come together to celebrate the university. One of the highlights each year is the Homecoming Parade. Reporter Antonio Fondacaro shows you some of the fun on Friday night.
Despite the dreary weather, downtown State College was full of fun as people turned out for the Penn State Homecoming Parade.
My favorite part about the parade has to be the little kids, the fans. I love going up to them, taking pictures with them, interacting, just giving them high fives.
Mateo Martone is a Penn State cheerleader.
They might scream, "We are," we say Penn State. It's super fun. I love it all so much.
Impressive floats from student and school organizations lined the parade route as the groups made their way across campus and through downtown, each one telling a story of Penn State pride. And it's not just about the university, but the local community too, like the Bernese Mountain Dog Club of Central PA or the Alpha Fire Company. The State College mayor made a flashy appearance, and former football coach Joe Paterno was even honored during the parade. The event took the combined effort of lots of volunteers to pull off a successful annual event, many organizations even practicing for the parade.
During our practices throughout the week, we'd always meet, go through our lineups and cheers we would do, how we'd interact with all the kids around the street, the parents, all the fans, the line, the band. As the homecoming parade comes to an end, the Penn State Blue Band echoes behind me, encapsulating everything that Penn State stands for.
Lots of fun and blue and white on a gray September night. In State College, I'm Antonio Fondacaro for the Center County Report.
Another great homecoming weekend at Penn State.
Glad the rain did not discourage anyone from showing up and, having a great time.
Oh, definitely. That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Friday for our next local news update.
And you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X. And you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.